Susday YouTube, welcome to Cambodia. I'm currently here in Kampot and I'm actually headed towards Vietnam, but I decided to stop here and visit Kampot and Kep for a few days. And I've been to Kampot and I spent a good bit of time here, but I've never really I've never really explored Kroi, which is where I'm staying. Found this little hotel or resort hotel here along the river. Beautiful place, but I will have to admit that it isn't everything that I expected it to be. I'll tell you about it at the end of the video. But I've only been here for 2 days and I'm ready to move on, but just wanted to give you a quick look around this area here. There's been a lot of new building of little resorts along this riverside, and it's interesting to see how it's sort of embedded deep in this rural community. Seeing all these fancy hotels and resorts pop up, and it's still like, as you drive through here, you can see it's still like very impoverished. Lots of like traditional style stilt homes and half-finished houses here, and most of the roads aren't even paved yet in this area. I'm curious to see what it's going to be like in about 10 years or so, because it feels like it's only beginning to be developed in this area. Now further in towards the city, it's a lot different, it's a lot more touristy, but out here on the outskirts you don't see a whole lot of foreigners. Most of the people that come to this side or this area of Kroi are mostly mostly Khmer people from the city, from Phnom Penh. What's interesting about this area is that it's full of Cham Cambodians, Cham or Muslim Cambodians, and I'm not exactly sure why they chose this area to live in. Maybe it's because it's close to the water, and most often, oh shit, I just saw a huge rat. scared the crap out of me. But as I always say, most Cham people are actually fishermen, and that might be the reason why they chose this area. But all up and down this river is all Cham people. Quite interesting to see, but I'm gonna take you guys for a little stroll, or actually take you guys for a little ride through this little village, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my personal opinions about this specific resort, which is somewhat Kampot, by the way. But there's a whole bunch of these types of resorts all up and down the area, and I'm assuming they're all about the same price range. But let's go for a ride, guys. So you can see they're building another resort here, but for the most part, most of this land is still undeveloped. As you can see, the roads are pretty bad, and it is the rainy season, so that makes it even worse. But here in Kroi, they're actually known for salt production. However, during the rainy season, they don't produce salt because they need sun to make salt. So most of the people that are salt farmers have to rely on other sources of income, like planting rice and herding buffalo, things like that. I'm heading south because I've never been this way, so I don't know if we're heading further away from the main Cham village, but it does appear that way. There's a beautiful house there right in the middle of the rice paddies. One of the reasons why I came here was because I wanted to get some ideas for what I want to do with my land back in Phnom Penh, and I want to see what they were doing along or on Kroi here. There's another resort, and from speaking to the workers at the resort I'm staying at, a lot of these properties are owned by people from Phnom Penh. They all live in Phnom Penh, and they bought up this land and developed them as resorts. Here's another one, it's gated. And then you got these traditional wooden houses kind of in between the resorts. Some of them are actually really nice. Like, I love the style of some of these houses here. And you see that building there, that's not a house, that's actually a it's hard to explain, but they use that building for swiftlets to create their nests in, because swiftlet nests are very very highly prized for their medicinal properties. Most people like to eat swiftlet or bird nest soup, and bird nest soup is made from swiftlet nests, which is unique because swiftlets use their saliva to make their nests, and apparently it's really good for your skin. So lots of people in China, Vietnam, they like to eat that bird nest soup to help improve their skin, make them look younger. So here in Cambodia, they build these huge buildings for swiftlets to come nest in, because they like a specific type of, almost like a cave-like building. And the way they attract these swiftlets is by playing the sound of swiftlet calls. So whenever you drive around Cambodia, you see these huge buildings, you also hear what sounds like swiftlets. What actually happening is they're playing the sounds of the swiftlets to kind of attract them to come nest in their building. There is a huge one way out there, that huge swiftlet building. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest one I've ever seen. So this here are the salt fields, and during the dry season is when most of the salt production happens. But what they do is they flood these fields with seawater, and then the sun obviously dries them out, and then they gather up the salt and they stick them in these warehouses to cure, I guess. I don't know, cure or dry out, but yeah, most of the, well, right now, you can see there, it's just filled with rainwater. But one of these days I'll have to come back here during the dry season and see the salt production actually happening. So you can see there's still several parcels of land that are open. I'm guessing either people own them and are waiting to do something with it. But yeah, I do see large chunks of land that look like, that could be developed into one of these mini resorts. But we're now in the Cham area. Most of the people that live here are Cham Muslim or Muslim Cambodian. And a little history about Cham or the Champa. Back in the Angkorian times, they actually had a pretty sizable kingdom right below what was the Nguyen dynasty, or the Vietnam, or the Vietnamese, before the Vietnamese started expanding southwards. And I don't remember the exact history off the top of my head, but at one point the Angkor, the Khmer kingdom came and invaded into Champa and took over that region, and then were forced out by the Vietnamese expanding to the south. And this is basically kind of what's left of the Champa, mostly spread all throughout Cambodia. And I don't know if there's a specific region where there's more of them, because like I said, I haven't really done much research on it. So feel free to comment down below if you know more about it than me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This area is really, like I said, quite underdeveloped, but it looks like there's an opportunity here for it to become more than what it is. Whether or not it's worth it to buy land or anything like that, I'm not sure. I don't even know what the land prices are like here. I didn't see any obvious for sale signs. My guess is that most of the land is already purchased, and anybody that's selling now is selling it for an outrageous price. Okay, let's talk about the food, the cuisine in Kampot. Most of you know that Kampot is known for its peppercorn production. It's also known for durian and sea salt. Sea salt is produced here, like I just said. But a lot of the Khmer food here is, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's subpar. Maybe because I'm so used to the Khmer food in Battambang, and maybe I don't know the right Khmer restaurants around here, but it seems like most of the restaurants here are geared towards foreigners. Like the majority of the restaurants do like burgers, pizzas, pasta, things of that nature. And they do have some Khmer restaurants and a handful of Thai restaurants. There also seems to be a surprising amount of Chinese restaurants. And from my research, I believe that there was a large Chinese population here back in the past. I don't see it so much now, but there is a large Chinese influence here. The street food is just the typical street food you find pretty much anywhere in Cambodia. You got bahat, baklahong, grilled eggs, things like that. But I haven't ever eaten anything in Kampot that really kind of blew my mind. Maybe I'm a little spoiled because I've just I mean, I've been to some of the major food capitals in the world, so uh, I may have a more discerning taste than most people. But for the money, I just don't feel like Kampot is really the place you come if you're looking for like mind-blowing Cambodian cuisine. If you want that, in my opinion, go to Battambang, or I mean, if you can afford it, go to Phnom Penh. Phnom Penh is obviously, it's got some amazing food in Phnom Penh, but that's just because it's it's a major city. So about Kampot, the city itself, it is a rather popular place for both Khmer people and foreigners. And I don't know what it was like before, but from what I see now, I'm gonna be really honest here. It just looks very tired, and I think it needs a little. I don't know what it is. It needs some TLC maybe. And during the day, there's not much going on. Everything's closed. Most things open only in the evening. There are a couple cultural sites you can visit, like the museum. And the Riverwalk is nice. All along the Riverwalk is a nice place to just walk around and enjoy the scenery. There's a new Starbucks that was built out of the old fish market, if that's something that you're interested in. There's the Seahorse. And then in the evening, it does get a little more lively. Lots of food vendors, street food vendors, all up and down the Riverwalk and on the main strip there. But once you go into the more, where all the pubs are, that's where it gets really like kind of shady and seedy. It's just a bunch of old expats, old white dudes from Australia, the UK, the US, and they're looking for one thing, they're looking for ladies, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of disgusting to me, and I feel bad for the girls that have to come looking for money like this, and that's the way of life they chose, so I guess they shouldn't feel bad, but the city is just one of those things where it's like, I wish I knew what it was like before, because I hear stories about how Kampot used to be this amazing little city that was very laid back, and that's where you could get a real sense of Cambodian people. But now I don't see it at all. If you're into nature, I think that's a big thing here. But most of it is all spread throughout the outskirts of Kampot. Things like the Bokol Mountain and all the resorts kind of further up the river. That's what they specialize in, is kind of like these eco resorts. But here in Kroi, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Here in Kroi, I really like the vibe here, but I will warn you that if you stay at one of these mini resorts here, you're kind of isolated from everything. It's not really a place you go to meet other travelers in this area. It's more of a place where you bring like a group, like family. Like if you're traveling with if you're Americans and you're traveling to Cambodia with like a large group of people, and you want to get out of the city and you want to visit some place that's kind of more with a more nature-like setting, then Kroi is a nice place, especially like this Samut Kampot is set up for more like the weekender. Over the past 2 days, I saw, I don't know how many groups that came through here, stayed a night, and then went back. But in the nighttime, they were all partying together while I was in my room trying to sleep. I'm sick, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, but I got sick right when I left Phnom Penh, and I'm kind of recovering. So I didn't really get a chance to do a whole lot of exploring. I just kind of hung out and edited in my room. But there it is. That's kind of like my overall review of Kroi and the little area here. Take it for what it is. It has some nice things about it and some bad things about it, and for the price that I paid, I got these rooms at like a huge discount. It's like 30% discount, and then they upgraded me to one of the 2 levels for free, so I only paid it's like $40 per night when they're originally like $70, and the big rooms are over $100. So it is a little more pricey than the rest of Kampot, but then again, you're getting kind of like a more secluded area. You get this nice view of the river scene here, fishing boats coming up and down. It's really a great place to connect with nature if that's what you're into. Anyway, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a comment down below click the thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And also, if you like what I'm doing and you want to see more of this, please consider donating to my beer fund by clicking the coffee link down below. Alright guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.